everyone. This is What is Truth Clarified with Angelina Magianis. We're doing Bible study and we are in Genesis 34. The word says, now Dinah, the daughter of Leah is the other wife of Jacob, the first wife that he was tricked into marrying. This is Dinah, her daughter that she has with Jacob. And she went out to see the women of the land. She went to go out there and explore. So there she is out there. And when Shechem, the son of Hamor, the Hivite, the prince of the land. So this is a prince of the land. So he's used to having their way. This is his area, all of that. He's not an Israelite. He saw Dinah. That's where you would say, like to your children, watch where you're going, because you may be a very important person, but in another place, you're not so much a very important person because they don't know you and you don't know the people of the land. And this land belongs to these guys. This guy saw her, he took her and he lay with her and humiliated her. So what does that mean? That means he took her by force and he made her be with him in bed. He slept with her and he got so attached to her. It says his soul was drawn to Dinah, the daughter of Jacob, but he took her by force. So you may use the word rape. And he thinks that this is what he can do. He may be used to doing all of this, and he doesn't see anything wrong with it. He is a prince of the land. That doesn't necessarily mean he's the king's son. The princes, sometimes they were the heads, the leaders' sons. And it says that his soul was drawn to Dinah, the daughter of Jacob. And he loved the young woman and spoke tenderly to her. Now, he just took her by force. And it says he humiliated her. That means because you have to be married. That's the way it should be now. And that's the way it was then. Very strict about that. Before you took someone as a wife, you had to be engaged to be married, and you wouldn't sleep with them until you were married. But he humiliated her because she didn't get to have that way, and she missed out on all of that, and he took her by force. And his soul from that moment on was just drawn to her. He just was all about her. He was infatuated with her. He's thinking that, oh, he's in love with her, like a love at first sight, and just with her. But it's all one-sided. And it's like somebody takes someone and in their mind, they're fooling themselves thinking, oh, we have such a good relationship. What relationship? He raped her. He took her by force. But in his mind, he's making his own story. And I have to put a funny little story in there. This goes exactly with this. Someone was telling me a story the other day that these two men, many, many years ago, these two men were fighting over a woman, right? They're fighting over a woman, a young girl, and they got so bloodied, fighting so much over her. And then she's my girlfriend, and she's my girlfriend, right? And they were all fighting over her. And then later on, the girl finds out that they were all fighting over her, and she doesn't even know who these two guys are. She wasn't a girlfriend of any of them. It was just in their mind. And I heard another story of the similar thing. In their mind, they think they're with her. In their mind, that's what they want. And if somebody goes with them, you took my girlfriend. But that's the way this man was here. He was thinking that she's mine. We already slept together. We already have a relationship. Now I want to continue. I want to marry her, even though he did it completely wrong and he forced her. But he thinks he's fine. And he spoke tenderly to her. So Shechem spoke to his dad, Hamor. He says, I want you to get me this girl for my wife. That's what he should have said before. Now it's too late. So now Jacob heard that he had defiled his daughter Dinah. This got out. Could see it in her face when she went home. Something was wrong. Something was wrong. She spoke to the people who watched over her, her friends, her family. She spoke to someone. Someone saw that something had happened. She explained, and Jacob heard about it. Her dad heard about it. But his sons also heard about it. Dinah's brothers, and they were with his livestock in the field when they heard. So when Jacob heard, the sons were in the livestock, and he didn't want to alarm them because in the youth, these were his boys, and something happens right away. They want to attack. Somebody wants to attack, and they're young, and they don't have any trouble fighting. That's something that young men like to do. So Jacob held his peace. He didn't say a word about this because this was a big thing until they came. He didn't want it to get back to them until he could talk to them himself with his own words. And Hamor, the father of Shechem, went out to speak with him. Like nothing of it. Maybe his son didn't explain everything that he did, that he took the girl by force. And he comes over to Jacob and talks to him about his daughter, Dinah. The sons of Jacob had come in from the field as soon as they heard of it. They did hear. They were upset, and the men were indignant, so upset you couldn't hold them back. Very angry, it says, because he had done an outrageous thing in Israel by laying with Jacob's daughter. For such a thing must not be done by anyone. But Hamor spoke with them, saying, "Look, the soul of my son," lifting up his son. "Oh, my son, I want him to be happy. I want him to be all right. The soul of my son longs for your daughter. Please give her to him to be his wife, as if everything's fine. Make marriages with us." He said, "Not only with my daughter, the rest of you mix with our people. You shall dwell with us, and the land shall be open to you. You can go everywhere. They don't need any land that they want to give them. The land that they have is promised land already. It's what God has given, and it's so much." And he says, "Dwell and trade in it and get property in it. Put your roots down here in the land." He said, "I'm giving you permission." And Shechem also said to her father and to her brothers, "Let me find favor in your eyes, and whatever you say, I will give." So the son is there too, the one who defiled Dinah. He's saying, "Whatever you want from me, I'll give it. I'll give it. I want her." If this was his sister, he wouldn't be saying this. He's not seeing clearly. "Ask me for a great bride price, a dowry. I'll give you so much. Whatever you ask, I'll give it. I want her so much. And a gift for you as well. And I will give whatever you say to me," he says. "Only give me the young woman to be my wife. Just gotta have her. I want her." And the sons of Jacob answered Shechem and his father more deceitfully. So they're pretending to go along with what he wants. But no, in their heart, they're completely against him. And they're doing some trickery here, pretending, because he had defiled their sister Dinah. And they said to them, "Oh, they're not showing their anger. They're not showing their hatred. They're not, you know, squeezing their fists and getting all red in the face. They're with a fake smile and everything." They says, "Oh, we can't do this thing to give our sister to one who is uncircumcised. You know, we have to be circumcised. We need you to be that way too." So they explained what this was. So they want them to do this. Of course, it's a trick. They're planning something else with this. But that would be a disgrace to us. You have to get circumcised. Only on this condition will we agree with you that you will become as we are, by every male among you being circumcised. So he's saying, if all your males, all your men get circumcised the way the Israelites get circumcised, they get cut and in the private part. He's saying, if all your men do that like we are, then we can go with this agreement. He says, then we will give our daughters, not only our sister Dinah, but we'll give all of our daughters. You guys can mingle with us. We'll marry. We'll mix together. And we would take your daughters to ourselves, and we will dwell with you and become one people. All of us together, a happy family, just full in there. But if you will not listen to us and be circumcised, you don't have to. Then we'll take our daughter and we'll be gone. But they know that this man wants Dinah so much. So he's going to agree. They know it. So their words pleased Hamor and Hamor's son Sheshan. And the young man did not delay to do this because he delighted in Jacob's daughter. And all the other men had to agree and had to do this. So they had to convince them that this is a good thing. I mean, they never did any of this. They never cut themselves like that in such a way. And but they're talking to them and explaining, look, everything they have, it's going to be ours. We're going to take it all because we're going to mix with their daughters. So they agree. It's going to be painful, but it's going to be worth it, he's saying. Now, he was the most honored of all his father's house. So Hamor and his son Sheshem came to the gate of the city and spoke to the men of the city, saying, these men are at peace with us. Let them dwell in the land and trade in it, for behold, the land is large enough for them. Let us take their daughters as wives, and let us give them our daughters. Only on this condition will the men agree to dwell with us to become one people. When every male among us is circumcised as they are circumcised, will not their livestock, their property, and all their animals be ours? It's going to be ours. It's going to be a good deal for us. Only let us agree with them, and they will live with us. And all who went out of the gate of the city listened to Hamor and his son Sheshem, and every single male was circumcised. They all thought this was a good deal. And all who went out of the gate of his city, all of them. And on the third day, when they were sore because they had just gone to a minor operation, they were cut. Two of the sons of Jacob, they're going along with their plan, their true plan, Simeon and Levi, Dinah's brother, took their swords and came against the city while the city felt secure. They thought they were at peace, everything's good, now we got all these people, they're going to be on our side. And they killed every single one of the men. Every single one. They got the revenge, not only on that guy, but on all their people, because this is what is coming out of this people. We don't want nothing to do with you. Killed all the males. They killed Hamor and his son Sheshem with the sword and took Dinah out of Sheshem's house and went away. See, he already had her in the house. And they went away. They killed every single one. They were not letting them get away with this. There are many things that people get away with in life today, and there are many things that people do not get away with because people will not stand for it. This thing is something different that even the government doesn't go along with. People go to prison for doing something like this. You don't have to make a big scheme like this and a big plan to get them back in such a way. And you can't be going out and killing all people anyways, because you go to prison. These people didn't go to prison. That's not how they handle things. And this also is before the law. And people also were doing what they wanted. It was before the law. And that's a big deal when things were before the law. Before the law, you couldn't do this or that. You would be killed. Even if you pick up sticks on a certain day, on the Sabbath day, you could be killed. It was all about strict obedience to help them in the outside because they couldn't be helped in the inside because they had a dead spirit. So, but today, Jesus tells us to turn the other cheek. He's saying, don't focus on the horrible things that the people are doing, because look at all the horrible things that they did to Jesus, and still he turned the other cheek. He had self-control. He loved them even when they hated him. He said that they did a lot of things that they did out of ignorance. Of course, that's a big reason why people do things, because they don't know. They don't realize what they're doing because they're so used to certain ways, so used to behaving certain ways and living certain ways, and their hearts are very hard. They don't care what they do anymore. These people, their flocks, after they killed them all, and the other people were thinking in their heads, look, we're going to marry all their girls. We're going to take all their flocks, all their animals, everything they have, all their wives, other good daughters, everything. We're gonna own their lands because we're joining together like this. But it went completely against them, against their way. It was the opposite. These guys killed them all, and they took all their flocks and their herds, their donkeys, and whatever else was in the city and in the field. They took everything. And they took all the wealth, all their little ones, all their people, and all their wives, all that was in the houses, they captured and they plundered. They took it for themselves, everything. And then Jacob said to Simeon and Levi, look what you've done. Look what you've done. You have brought trouble on me by making me stink to the inhabitants of the land, the Canaanites and the Perizzites. Jacob is worried about what the people out there would do, but Jacob forgets that God is with him. We do that. People forget. Well, look, this may happen. He's saying, look, they're not going to want me anymore. They're not going to like me anymore. They might not trade with me, this or that. He's not thinking clearly. His sons weren't thinking clearly as well. They were just trying to fix it, and they went a little bit overboard, a lot overboard, really. But actually, they could have just got that one boy, but it probably would have started a big battle. So either way, it probably was going to be a lot of people dying. But their way, it was just the enemy dying, not the Israelites. But Jacob here is all worried about the people of the land, hearing what they've done, and not wanting to have anything to do with them. And then it says, "My numbers are few." He's saying, "We're just a little bit of people. We're not that much yet. You know, there's lots of people around. They can all come against us." He's too worried about that. When the Lord is with you, the other people should fear you. But many people have that backwards. They're afraid of everything because they don't realize who is with them. The Christian sometimes doesn't realize who is with us. The Lord is with us. Jesus says, don't you realize that just like that, I can call for 12 legions of angels and they'll come right down here and help me? But this must happen. And the same way, we could ask for help for God and God will help us. And you don't really think it's God. You don't realize it because suddenly some people come in to help and you think it's just coincidence that it just happened to be there, but it's God. God was talking to them all along the way and had them go down that way where you are to help. But God was watching over Jacob, and he was going to continue to watch over him, but he's worried about the people. He says, our numbers are few, and if they gather themselves against me and attack me, I shall be destroyed. That's another very big one. I shall be destroyed. No, he won't. Why? Because he has a lot of promises over his life. There's a lot of family, more that's coming, and he's all in the middle of that. He has long life ahead of him. He says, both I and my household. He's speaking death into his life. And we're supposed to speak life, the Lord says, life. But they said, should he treat our sister like a prostitute? So they're justifying themselves, saying, what are we supposed to do? Nothing? Just let him marry our sister after he attacked her, had his way with her? Are we supposed to do nothing and just smile at him and let him come to our house and be laughing and eating with him like he's a friend when he's an enemy? He attacked our sister. If he attacked her, he attacked us. They're saying, no, Dad, that's not right. We had to do something. And sometimes you need to do something. This was extreme. It's a big thing. In today's time, you may say you call the police and the police will take care of it. They'll go to court and all that. But our big thing is in the middle of anything, God says, forgive, forgive, forgive. Jesus says, forgive. They know not what they do. A lot of people aren't used to forgiving. They weren't used to forgiving, and not for such a big thing. Maybe a smaller thing, but not such a big thing. They said, no, we can't let these people run all over us. No, we can't forgive this. We couldn't forget it. We had to stop it right here. And if we also look with Paul and Peter, things happened. Things got stopped right away when something was bad, but they were interfering with the things of God. And these people are the chosen of God. And those people, like with Peter, Ananias and his wife, they lied to the Holy Spirit, and Peter speaks against them instantly, and they die. And there was quick, instant judgment in a time when there is mercy. And it was because the things of God had just started, and it was all powerful, everything just sprouting up and happening at that time. And they had to be strict so things like that wouldn't continue. And it was a serious thing, lying to God, to show them it's serious to be in the things of God. It's not a joke. And then with Paul, he went, and the other guy tried to stop the other one from hearing the things of God, and Paul made that man be blind. He spoke blindness over him, and he became blind because he was trying to stop the things of God. And in this right here, these are the chosen of God. So you may compare it to that and say it was fine for the way they handled it, because these are the chosen ones of God. You may say that, or you may say it's not fine. But like I said, it is a different time, not like today's time. But in everything, there is mercy. But if you are, like you say, you may say hot-headed, and they're ready just to do anything to attack anyone. This is what can happen when someone does something wrong to them. Instantly, they want to attack back. Also, in today's time, instantly somebody wants to attack back when someone does something wrong, and we forget all the teachings that God gives us, and we push it aside because you attacked me in this way. Why'd you do this to me? Why'd you do this? It was nothing like this. But even with little things, we get so upset and we attack back, right? But it's about mercy. It's about love. Even in hard times, even when it's hard to love, we need to love. We need to show God's love. But in a moment like this, they didn't have to trick them. They could have told them, this isn't the way. We want your son to apologize to the family, to my daughter first, to the family. We can't have this. This isn't right. And explain it to them until they get it. And could that have brought along war? Yes, it could have, especially in these times. They fight about anything. But God was on their side, so God would have helped them through all of this. But the way that we see in these stories too, when they would go and attack other people for many reasons, this just does seem like a justifiable act to that has happened. So God would, and I see that God went along with this. It was fine for them to handle it in such a way because he let them do whatever they wanted. Let them try to take care of things. Because if we look at Jacob, God let him deal however he wanted with his situation. And we look at Abraham, God let him do whatever he wanted. And he helped when they messed up. But when something is very bad and we invite God in to come in to help because we can't do it ourselves, he comes in and he shows the way that he wants us to handle it. And this looks like one of those spots where God would have went along with what they were saying, because I've seen God in other stories go along with things when it seems like it was going to be okay, but God went along with him and they went and fought. They went and killed other people and God went along with it. So, and this time it was, you could just say that it was a different time. But don't forget, our time today, Jesus says, all about love, all about mercy, all about peace. And if you're in a very close relationship with God, he'll show you how to stay in all that. The love, the peace, the joy, and the hope. He'll show you how to stay in that. If you're not, any kind of trouble will make you attack others. Any kind of trouble will crush you and make you go down. That's why we need to turn to God all the time, not just for big things that happen once in a while, but for every little thing. So when there's a big thing, it doesn't seem like a big thing because you see how God works and he's always with you and he's always helping. And your love will cover a multitude of sin, just like the Lord's love has covered a multitude of sin that everyone commits. Amen.